All right, welcome to the Puny Couch podcast, here live at Blackwell Studio. Today's guests are Circle the City. Their latest release is Incommunicado, which is kind of I would say, the most polished version of the sound that I would describe as like a progressive hard rock psychedelic feel. I mean, is that accurate in your minds? I know it's hard to describe your own music, but...
Yeah, I think it's a good collection of everything I'm into, and I think everybody else for the most part, like there's some definitely some prog rock sprinkled in there with some terribly played jazz chords.
There's some blues elements.
Yeah, blues.
A little bit of psych.
Yeah. It's well, I don't know. You guys give your opinions on it. Or what do you think?
No, I think that it is a collaborative effort of all the different things that we are into. We just trying to find ways to incorporate that into the sound. So every song is a little bit different. There's a little bit of different things. One of them has a Spanish guitar element to it, which is completely unexpected. And it's been a fun time trying to put all of this together.
How's the journey been putting this together, like the evolution of the band? Like in regards to members and everything, because I know, Melissa, you're new.
Yeah, I just joined in January as a fill-in. That just kind of stuck and became an ongoing thing. So I can't really speak to the prior elements of the band,
I definitely have some gray hair because of it. It's been pretty stressful, I won't lie, but luckily the town has we have quite a few talented musicians. So oddly enough, like it's just always worked out, and not that I think just because we've been around for a while, it's a little bit easier to find members than say if you're starting a new project altogether, because then it's like, oh shit, we got to do all this other stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just kind of worked out. And in terms of like, there's not really for that EP in particular, or the sound of the band, it's never been like, let's try to sound like this. It's like, over COVID, I really got into jazz guitar and math rock, and it really changed my playing.
You can hear it too. Yeah, you can hear that.
Cool. I'm glad that you think so. And then the Spanish guitar thing was just like, I don't know. Kevin and I wrote that song, Animals, that one that Melissa's talking about. And sorry if this is going off topic.
No. We love it.
It kind of came up with it. He had this like idea for a bass line, and which is from the verse, the bass line. The whole song was written around that, I guess. And then I just I had these like minor ninth and major ninth chords I was playing one day, and I was just going like, I can't play them now because I'm trying to think about it. But I had that part, and then he had like a bass line. And I don't know, I think he was like, I don't know, I feel like there should be like a Spanish or something like that. There was like a Latin feel to the song, right?
Yeah, there was, yeah.
And so, we just wrote that around that. There's never a direct, like, let's try and do this. It's just like, how can we jam all this shit together and make it work?
Yeah. So that's cool. And then speaking of the town, so people know, we're from Sarnia. You guys are from Sarnia.
Yes.
So the musicianship in Sarnia, how you guys feel about the scene in Sarnia? Like, what do you guys...
I think the scene right now is pretty vibrant. I think there's a whole next generation of kids that are coming up that are massively talented, super talented, and just watching their evolution is fantastic. It wasn't that long ago I was new on the scene and had no business doing half the stuff I was doing. And just to see these kids, that come up and talk to me and, like, they're aware of what I've been doing in the scene, and they're just like, this is what we've got going on. And they're just so excited. And I'm like, keep that energy, keep that excitement, keep improving. You're only in competition with yourself. So as long as you're looking at your performances and being like, how can I make this better? You're going to do so many amazing things. So it's really cool to see the new generations that's coming up. It's really cool just to see all of the different styles of music that we have available here in town. And it's really cool when you see them branch out and they're spreading out to London and Toronto and doing different things and making it work.
I'll somewhat agree and largely disagree with that. I think there is a a wealth of talent in Sarnia, and the younger generation that is coming up seems very musically inclined. I think in terms of the scene, it's like, I don't know, anorexic. It's like, you know, there's a ton of good bands here and good musicians, and you go to a show and there's no one. And it's like, oh, but then you go an hour down the 402 to London, and on a Thursday night you go to Poacher's Arms and the place is fucking packed
For
and
a cover band or something.
for
probably.
well, I think they're doing a lot of original bands there, but like the scene in London is like absolutely insane. So while I do think the scene in Sarnia is good, it could be better, and I think that's, you know, I don't know the answer to that, to be quite honest. But
I think COVID really made a big difference in terms of how people attend shows, whether they're coming out, whether they're spending money at the venues.
yeah,
You know, it really just changed a lot of people's perspective on what it means to go out and have a night out.
yeah.
And I think that maybe because live music is so prevalent and you can go to, you know, any venue in town and find a place to, you know, hear some music and stuff, it's not as valued in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, it is sort of a new era too, right? Like here we are doing this kind of thing too, and
Yeah.
people are doing a lot of online stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is also cool.
Even during COVID, I was doing like live streams and Twitch and Facebook Live and things, just trying to stay fresh, stay relevant, you know? So there's definitely a trend toward moving online, but the energy of a good audience makes all the difference for me in particular, but I think as the band as a whole. So
Do you guys find it exciting when you are playing out of town? I know last time I saw you guys at the Fool Fest, you were about to do a bunch of shows out of town.
yeah, yeah. I think it's just a completely different vibe to go out of town. You know, like it's fun to go out of town and play to no one. Not that anybody in Sarnia's heard of us, but to play to no one that's heard of you, and then like people come up to you after and like, you guys are really good, and you know, you go to a place like Toronto, and you know, you play with the bands there that are playing weekly, and you can kind of hang with them. That's cool. So it's fun. Yes. I do like playing home gigs though.
I do like playing home gigs.
So do
For
I.
me, like performance is everything. So being on different stages, different locations, meeting different people, networking, just hanging out with people outside the club, like the experience for me is all of that. So yeah, I think just performing anywhere and everywhere for me is where it's at. But getting out of town is a bit of a different animal, just because you're not running into the same
It's a thrill.
20
It's a little
people
excitement.
you always see,
Yeah.
you know?
I get that for sure. And venue-wise in Sarnia, like where it seems like
AJ's mods, I guess. Refined Fool is also does Refined Fool is kind of cool because they'll do like touring bands or like whatever, I guess touring bands, but they usually are pretty good about getting a local opener for them. But I think those are really the only places to play
For original music,
Yeah, for original music,
I would say
yes.
so. Yeah, most of their places they want cover bands that play songs that everybody knows that they want to dance and sing along to, which is beautiful. I mean, there's a spot for that, absolutely. But for original music stuff that people are just kind of feeling out, not necessarily open to, it's a bit of a struggle to get play and get people to resonate with what we're doing. Sometimes.
For sure. What would you say your favorite out-of-town show was on that little stint you guys did? Or city in general, or venue in general, or any particular bands you played with?
I really like the Atria.
Tale of the Junction was cool.
That was cool.
Is his mic up? I can't really hear him in my ears.
Testing.
Oh yeah, you gotta talk
there
right
it is.
into that thing.
I got it right into
Stick
it.
your mouth right on it. You're used to it.
Yeah, Toronto was a lot of fun. Tale of the Junction was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was an unsuspectingly fun gig
I
because
felt we were well received too. Which
Yes.
because I had played there a few times before, and then Melissa and Kevin hadn't, and I was like, it's whatever. And it was we showed up, and the bartender was going to do sound, and I was asking her questions, and she had no clue. She had a piece of paper. She's like, "Yeah, I can do that." And then I was like, "I can do sound." And then Zach, our bassist that was with us in the summer, he goes to school for that shit, and so him and I did sound. But it was just like it's just a small dingy bar, and it was
No air conditioning. And
yeah, it was hot as
Hottest
fuck.
day of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played there
I was wearing
too.
leather
Oh, have
pants
you?
for some reason.
Yeah, it was hot as fuck.
Tail of the Junket, it's quite the place.
Yeah.
It sure is. And it was honestly a blast.
Did they have
It was
that
a really good
piano
time.
in the back when you guys were
Right
there?
when you walk in the
It's like
back.
that in the alley.
I don't recall seeing that.
I don't remember. I think it was
Ah.
gone. It was I don't know. I think that was my 4th time playing there, and it's changed. That was the sketchiest time. I don't know. I guess the first time we played there, we played on this bill, and it was quite busy. I think it was right after COVID too, and there was like one of the bands they let play was like, I think they were high school bands, and there were a bunch of kids in the bathrooms downstairs doing blow and shit. So it was like, what the fuck is going on down there? So it was sketchy. I think my favorite
That's
gig,
the perfect description of the place too.
it is. It actually is. And but that particular gig in Toronto was a really good one, and we played with a couple really good bands, Electric Cat, who we've played with a few
Yeah.
times, and Weekends, which is a band we were supposed to play a showcase with, and unfortunately couldn't. But they were great too, and it's always cool when you go to town and you hear a band you hear them on Spotify or whatever, and then you see them play, and it's like, oh, okay, these guys are actually really good. They can play live.
Yeah.
Another memory is the Elmo Combo. We played. None of these guys were here. Yeah,
Just Harold played that.
yeah,
solo.
just by myself. No, we played the Elmo Combo a couple of years ago during Canadian Music Week, and that was awesome because it was a massive stage.
That's sick.
So
Nice.
that was a fun one.
Hell yeah.
Back to this band right now. So all you guys are on the new EP?
Except for Sean. That's Sean.
Sean?
Sean just joined us.
Yeah.
So
Sean.
he's still learning a lot of the material that's already established
Yeah.
while also helping to write new music. So
Nice.
it's been a process trying to get him all caught up to speed so we can do stuff like this. But he's very proficient.
Yeah.
Very talented player, and he's picking things up very quickly. So we're further along.
Good job,
than,
Sean.
Good job, Sean.
Fucking stud.
We're further along than we thought we would be.
Bring
so
out the
that's good.
cake.
Yeah, that one. Our EP was like, in terms of personnel, like Melissa's obviously on all 4 songs. Then I think Kevin and myself handled a lot of the bass duties, and then we had Zach Price, who was our session bassist in the summer, who's a Humber graduate and really good. He helped record for us. Actually, he wrote 2 of them. He wrote
Yeah, he did.
he wrote some stuff for Animals and Crave.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think. And then, but it was a very collaborative effort. So
Yeah, it shows. It's sounding really, really good.
Yeah, it's very tight what
Awesome.
you guys got going on.
the whole thing was recorded in my basement, and then we
Nice.
sent
That's
it
the
out
way to do
mix.
it.
Yeah, we try to keep it in house. It's cheaper, and I'm a
Yeah. You're in my basement. You don't have to tell me.
yeah, and I'm a gear nerd, so it's fun to record. So
Yeah.
When I joined the band, they had releases that were already scheduled, and I was only supposed to be on for I think 2 shows, something like that. And all of a sudden, they're just like, "We have these lyrics. We're recording them this weekend. You need to learn this like right now." And so, like on some of these songs, the day of, I'm still trying to like figure out the song.
so were we.
Yeah.
Thrown
So
to the
it's
wolves.
been a bit of a process. I'm new to recording anyway, so I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't really know, and it's been so much fun. And they let me put my own spin on things. And what if we did it this way? And, it's a lot of fun. And I'm pretty happy with the finished product.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
And doing it yourselves, there's so much more freedom, right? Like you get to just spend a little more time.
Endless takes.
You don't feel like you like,
It's the fucking editing I hate.
or just
Yeah.
even if you come up with an idea, maybe.
Yeah.
You're not on the clock.
Yeah.
That's actually how the song Animals, the verse guitar riff was the one I settled on after I think 20 different versions, and then I still can't play it to this day. But that was an exact thing. Like, we weren't the only pressure from us was like, okay, we have to turn this in to get it out. So there was a bit of a time crunch there, but I mean, there's no one saying like, or we're not really paying, right? So
Yeah.
it was good in that aspect. for
Yeah,
sure.
it's
No
a
one
lot
brings
less
down your-
pressure, I think, than when you're on a clock and you're paying for time. And it's like, okay, well, we've got an hour and a half left. We need to get this done. It's a lot more stressful than just like, hey, can you come over on Saturday?
Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll just spend a few hours working on stuff. And next thing you know, we've got a song. So
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Well, we're excited to hear that song. Is that the next one?
We can do that next.
We
I
can
just
do
got
that
to change
next.
guitars and stuff.
Is this
Okay.
Animals? Yeah. Okay, sure.
hear so much in your guys' music. It's really cool. Like bass lines, groovy as hell. That guitar, very, very groovy. Vocals, everything. You guys are sounding really good.
Thank you.
Where's like some of your influences? Like what? I'd love to go around the horn and actually hear from all you. And not like I find it very interesting to hear other musicians' perspective on music, especially nowadays music and stuff. Like what's inspires you?
Start.
Oh gosh. Okay. So I am a product of the 80s. I grew up on Whitney Houston. Like you give me a ballad and I am all over it. Later I'm into like Florence and the Machine. There's a band out of Vancouver called No Sinner. I got to meet the lead singer one time when she played the station here in Sarnia, and sometimes you should meet your heroes. But she's got a song called Devil on My Back.
Nice.
That is like a heartache kind of, I've been doing this man wrong, but the devil got me, kind of deal. So, I enjoy that. Pretty reckless, soaring vocals, a lot of, just fucking giving her. That's really where I live. So,
Awesome. That's awesome.
Kevin.
Yeah. So I started off as a lowly punk drummer. Again, I got into metal and then went to university, discovered R&B, hip hop, all that sort of stuff. But I'd say now, my biggest influences are anything Larnell Lewis is doing. He's like the gospel jazz god right now. And then like Matt Garska is like the prog polyrhythmic. He also does crazy like, have you ever seen Matt Garska do, like Matt Garska from Animals as Leaders? Have you seen his Latin stuff? It's crazy. Like the guy can play anything that he wants to, but I'd say those two right now are my main idols that I look up to that will never come close to their playing, but I can try.
That makes sense.
You can hear that in your drums a little bit, for sure.
I mean, it makes sense in like your style. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you like, Sean?
I have to say something.
Bring the mic to you.
I thought you were going to go this
there
whole
we go.
time without talking, eh?
I tried. Probably the most, at least in this context, the most influential is probably the Mars Volta.
Oh yeah,
Some early stuff.
Yeah.
My musical growing up started like 20 years ago, so like Muse back then, Death from Above,
Yeah.
but also all sorts of just like indie rock, into heavier stuff, like Carnival.
Yeah.
If you know that Australian band.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice. What about you, Harold?
Oh man, how much time you got?
All the time in the world.
Well,
Tool.
yeah, no. I do like Tool. I don't like
Who
their-
doesn't like Tool though?
Well, I didn't like the last album they put out, I won't lie.
It took too long to come out.
Yeah, it just wasn't great. We could do that. So yeah, I grew up on bands like Soundgarden and things like that, and my favorite, I think my biggest influence like in this band early on was I Mother Earth and the Mars Volta. Like I was actually heavily listening to Deloused and the Comatorium when I started this band, and I may or may not have borrowed a progression in the last song that we just played from one of their songs.
How about the name of the band?
Oh yeah, and the name of the band is actually is a lyric from the Mars Volta.
One day this chalk outline will circle this city. Was he right there?
So they're a big influence, but like now it's a few years back I got into a band called Closure Moscow, which is They're like the Mars Volta you'd listen to at a pool party. You know, something like that.
That's cool.
They're very technical, but they're also like they've got some pop elements to them, and they're all over. I really like jazz. I really wish I were better at it and actually put more effort into it. I really like jazz fusion guitar. Went through a period recently. Well, not recently. I guess the last couple of years where I just listened to a lot of instrumental music, and I don't know, that was cool. Animals as Leaders is really good, and I don't know. I'm all over the place, really. Currently, I guess because my daughter is into Taylor Swift, I'm unfortunately listening to that most days.
Hey, you can find inspiration anywhere, man.
Sure, you can.
She does a great cover of Sunday Morning.
Oh
though.
yes, yes, we do a cover of Sunday Morning by No Doubt, and my daughter's really good at that. So
Disney
watch out,
soundtrack.
She's got things to do on
Yeah.
Sunday morning, and
She's 5.
I love it.
But yeah, I guess like in a nutshell, it's just like that's even the other members that are no longer here. It was just always like there was never we have to listen to the same music, right? I think it's what makes us better.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You want that diversity for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You touched on your band name. The album art that you guys kind of put out is also kind of cool.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of significance to that with the latest release, or
So
how do you guys go about your art that you pick?
So back in the day, we used to have someone that would commission like artwork from up until I don't know when the last time we used her to do art, but there's been a few times some band members have taken a stab at it.
This last one, the photo.
Yeah. So
Where's that
actually,
from?
back in August, I went on a trip to Vancouver, and I was out there for a week, discovering myself and terrible coffee that's out there.
That's all we heard about the trip was how bad the coffee was everywhere.
Anyway,
Gotta bring your own
really
beans.
bad. I was disappointed. Anyway, the one day I took a bus trip to Whistler, and it was, I don't know if you guys have been out there, but
Yeah.
to Vancouver to Whistler, it's the Sea to Sky Highway,
Oh, okay.
and it's honestly the most breathtaking thing I've ever seen. But I was on the bus, I think it was on the way back, and I was with my wife, and I snapped a picture. And when we were talking about, like album artwork, I don't know, the shot of the mountain and like the water and all that, it just I think it kind of tied into the theme of the like isolation, and you're in the middle of nowhere and no communication, so it worked, and it wasn't AI. So
Here I thought it was AI this whole time. What the hell?
no, that was I took that photo, so on my phone too, so it turned out pretty okay.
But it does a great job of conveying the distance between people, that vastness of space and, the liminal aspect to it and stuff. And when
Yeah.
you're not locking in with somebody and you have that space between you, it can feel like it's this big stretch
Yeah.
of space. So it's
we
kind of
went with
cool.
that.
It's a cool photo. Well, excited to hear what you guys are going to be moving forward with in your music, because everything you just described sounds like it's going to be an awesome blend. So very, very excited to see what you guys do in the future.
Yeah.
Sean, you're killing it over
hopefully
there.
we'll
You
put some more music out.
keep that guy there.
We're hoping to spend the next few months over the winter, really working on some new material. We've got release dates scheduled for next year. I'd like to be a little ahead of the curve this time and getting the music out and rehearsed. And, sometimes you need to give it room to breathe and evolve. And, sometimes a song turns into something a little bit different once you've played through it a few times. It's like, wait, what if we did this? So I'm looking forward to that aspect of things and creating something new.
Awesome. Well, with that, we'll let you guys play your last tune. And thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having us, man. It's great.
Thank you.